So vinyl siding is something that specifically in the St. Louis market has been popular for the last 20 to 25 years. As St. Louis made the shift from old wood or aluminum siding, vinyl siding came into the fold because it was a way of providing a low maintenance and more importantly, cheap, very cost-effective way to do the building envelope. And so St. Louis, being a union market, tended to have higher labor costs. So as we were building homes in the boom throughout the 80s and 90s, there was a desire to find a way to keep that cost down. So vinyl just grew in popularity. Interestingly enough, St. Louis is one of maybe just a handful of markets where vinyl is so popular around the country. And I used to work for James Hardie, so I got to get a nice close-up view of the entire country and see every market. And it always surprised me that you go to many, many large markets in the United States and vinyl just doesn't exist. It almost shocks them that we would use plastic to protect our home. But regardless, it did become popular in St. Louis, mostly for cost, mostly for low maintenance. And that doesn't necessarily hold true anymore. Vinyl is still low maintenance, but the costs have been continually rising. Over the last 5-6 years, we've seen vinyl go up 3 and 4 times price increases per year. So the whole pros and cons thing, the pros of vinyl is it's still pretty low maintenance, but the cons list is that cost has gotten much higher. It is a loose system that just kind of hangs on your wall because vinyl expands and contracts so much. The installers have to leave it loose so that it can move back and forth. That also allows for air and moisture, wind to get behind the siding, potentially blow it off the wall, but there's always water passing through behind it. So my concern has always been with vinyl is how do you keep the moisture out? It's going to get back there and it's going to get into your substrate. So more often than not, when we go to replace vinyl siding, when we put up new siding, there is some water damage that has happened behind the vinyl. And people can't see it because vinyl doesn't rot like wood siding does. So they assume everything's great. They just want to upgrade. What they don't realize is that the vinyl hasn't been protecting their home. And so that's a concern I have with it. The other thing is that nothing beats the sun yet. So even when vinyl siding manufacturers, they put titanium dioxide in it, which is essentially sunscreen, you can't beat the sun. It still fades. You can't paint vinyl siding. And so you're pretty much stuck with that color. And I know people like the bold, deep, dark colors now. Unfortunately, vinyl, if you pick that dark navy blue, over the course of 7 to 10 years, you're going to see considerable fading. And it's just not something that's warranted. The manufacturers will warranty it to a degree, but you're not going to keep that same rich color for very long. And so, again, when we come back to the pros and cons, the only real pro with vinyl siding is that it's low maintenance for that short period of time. Long term, I have a lot of fear about the negative effects of what happens with moisture penetration behind the siding.